Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Julie Santiago here. And today I am with our beautiful, amazing client, woman, friend, badass. I think I can say that. Leah. Leah, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Julie. Pleasure to be here.
So Leah is a graduate of our program, a rock star graduate of our program. We were just chatting about her journey. Leah signed up for our program 8 months ago. So our program's 12 weeks, right? So she's been out of the program for many months now, but she signed up about 8 months ago. And one of the things Leah just said is that it feels like a lifetime ago. Um, and your journey and your transformation has been amazing, and the changes you've made and who you are on the inside and the outside has changed pretty dramatically. So we're just going to jam on that today. We're going to talk about your transformation, and then I want to hear your wisdom and have you share with the women, men watching or listening to us how you got here, right? So I'll have you share a little bit of your nuggets so that people can really walk away with something here. How does that sound? Good?
Let's do it.
Okay, good. Let's do it. All right. Well, let's just start with where you are now. I mean, you just told me before we hopped on live, you said I went from being very uncomfortable in my life to really loving my life. So, why don't we just start with a snapshot of what life looks like and feels like now? Tell everybody a little bit about kind of the job you have and your home life, just so they can get a feel for you and
Sure,
what life is like now. And then we'll go back to what it
sure,
was
sure,
before.
sure. First and foremost, I'm a mother. I have a son of my own, and I have three wonderful stepchildren. I'm remarried as of 2 years ago, so we have a fairly large family, which is transitional family. You can imagine that had its challenges of its own. But I am present. I went from not being present to being present and enjoying time with my son, time with my stepkids, and really getting to know them, and especially time with my husband, who is my soulmate. And I knew that the moment I met him, but I feel it even more deeply now. Career-wise, I'm leading engineering teams. I'm director of engineering in a technology company. Working with a lot of smart people and a lot of very, very smart individuals and a lot of men. It's a very interesting environment to navigate, but I love my job. So, and I'm doing some interesting and challenging projects where before I felt them difficult, and now I see them as challenging with opportunity to grow and help others grow instead of saying it's too hard. So yeah, and yeah, there's COVID. There's this thing we call COVID, and it's very stressful, and there's virtual schooling. But with all the tools I've picked up, I've remained calm. Not only I have remained calm, I have helped my child to transition through this virtual learning environment, which is crazy. And he's learned from me. He has learned on how to stay calm. He's actually asking me how to practice more meditation so he can sleep better. And he's only 9 years old. And he counts his blessings and gratitudes before bed because that helps him relax. So that's life today.
That's amazing. So let me just like recap that. So life today is you as a director of engineering, having a very responsible job, running, teams of people, working mostly with men in the middle of a global pandemic. And you not only have a 9-year-old son, but you also have some bonus children, right? Some step kiddos. And you feel calm and you feel present, and not only are you taking care of yourself, but you're also teaching your 9-year-old how to do that tool too, with some of the tools that you've learned over the past months with us in the program. You're having what you're like before, right? Because it's like a
Sure.
glimpse, it's a snapshot of
Yep.
your life. And for those of you who may not know, for people who may not know how you were before that, what's changed?
Sure. And one last thing I'll add before I jump into that is I made time and space to think about future aspirations that have nothing to do with my current job. And that's my focus now for the upcoming years and visualizing that. So not only that, but also figuring out what my future is based on what inspires me. Going back on what life was before, in most of my life, I struggled with a lot of anxiety, and that would always manifest eventually into like self-worth. And I felt things kind of hit rock bottom in January, and Not really particular reason. It's interesting. I don't know why January. Like I was with the person I was meant to be, but all of a sudden it was like a slippery slope over the years. And then January I felt the rock bottom. I was feeling that I wasn't good at my job.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt I wasn't good at my job. I thought I was terrible at my job and that I hated my job. And then I literally was not present. We would read the book with my son at nighttime, and I would not remember what I read like a moment ago because my mind was racing off to work or something else.
Mm.
I would have I never meditated before then, and I never allowed myself quiet time. I was always on the go, get up at 5 a.m., go to the gym, come back, help my son get ready, get him to school, rush to work, rush to home, and feeling just exhausted to the
Mm-hmm.
point that I told my husband that maybe it's my job. I just hate my job. I should just quit and I don't know what else to do. And then I came across this ad that talked about a woman feeling the same way and said, oh, I'm not the only one. Oh, maybe there's nothing wrong with me. Oh, I need to explore this. But that was life in January.
Yeah. So that's, thank you for sharing all of that. You weren't present. You couldn't even remember the book you were reading before. You said something very interesting, which is, you were complaining a lot to your husband. I know that in your initial breakthrough call, you were talking about, you were crying to him a lot. He wanted to help, but didn't know how. You were really on the verge of quitting your job, right? You felt like an imposter a little bit. Like you weren't really sure. I remember us talking about this when you were in the program. You're like, I'm not really sure if I'm good at my job. And then I think that was at the beginning. And then by the end of the program, you had gotten this incredible feedback, right? From your boss. And so there was this part of you that was like, maybe it's the job. Maybe I actually need to walk away. Now, you didn't, just to be clear, you did not quit your job,
I
correct?
did not quit my job, no.
Okay. So you did not change the job. You learned to change, to be clear. Okay, great.
Exactly.
You also were having panic attacks, or no, you were just having tightness in your chest?
It
Close to
was,
panic attacks?
some of them were like panic attacks, like almost like paralyzed, like to breathe, even get out of bed. Yeah, it was very bad. So,
And when was the last time you had one of those? Do you remember?
um, it's been a long time. It's
Yeah.
been a long time. I'll get the periodic anxiety, but I know how to calm it down. But
Mm, mm.
yep,
So it doesn't mean anxiety. So anxiety still comes up because you're human, right? But you now know how to calm it down. So it sounds like it's not spiraling you in the same way anymore.
exactly. It's a feeling. It's trying to tell me something. So,
Mm-hmm. So you said you found us on you found us on Facebook. It sounds like. What else had you tried before you found us?
I've been avid like fitness person, working out. It's one of the things that kind of helps me stress relief, release my stress. I've always been religious, but not really like consistently praying. So I tried that a little bit. My husband tried to quite a bit, but my heart wasn't quite open on that. I tried a little bit meditation in the beginning, but I couldn't get my mind to like settle. So quite a bit. I changed my diet. I eliminated gluten for like several years, and that helped quite a bit. So changing my diet, eliminated sugar, and helped at least manage the fluctuations of the emotions. But always not quite there. Always feeling like something's wrong with me. With my doctor some years ago, they put me on antidepressants and anxiety medication. I
Mm-hmm.
had side effects, and a few years ago I said, no more, help me get off of them. And that's where I learned about nutrition and exercise. And I was managing, but I couldn't get to a place where I felt healthy, fulfilled, confident, and panic attack free. So
Okay, so healthy, fulfilled, confident, panic attack free. That's what you were searching for.
yep,
And you had tried the medication route, maybe a little bit of spirituality, religion route. You had tried the medication, the health and fitness route, sort of meditation, but that didn't really work. And how would you say that if you just check in on all of those things now, what do you think it was about this program that was different than all of those things that you tried? And then I'm going to ask you a funny question that I want to ask too, just because I think you're going to have a great answer. What do you think it was about this program that really created some of those lasting shifts that the other things hadn't been able to really do permanently?
There were a lot of things that I had probably hidden inside, that from childhood upbringing, emotions that I hadn't processed or didn't think they were important enough to process. And I didn't think it's important to do that. Like, nobody explained that to me, the importance of like processing what you feel and how past experiences can really impact who you are. So I had great resistance in the beginning when we started to kind of unravel of what's going inside and maybe some of the things that happened in the past. And as soon as we started unraveling these things and started like making my peace with what happened with the past and started layering on top of how important it is to be present, I think unraveling all that mess that I felt and turmoil inside me, and then learning how to be present in anything we do, right? And the biggest thing that resonated was the sense of purpose, and how purpose is about anything you do. Like right now, I'm having a wonderful conversation with you, right? And you learn something and I learn something, and that's like purpose. Or we had a wonderful hike with my family last weekend, and I took some incredible pictures, and that made me so fulfilled, and that was purpose. And I never thought about purpose in that way, like a collection of moments and experiences you have. I thought about this amazing destination and some super big achievement and some title.
Classic overachiever thoughts.
So I think that was like the other big aha, right? Like being present, and how purpose comes from experiences and moments. So yeah.
Those are great. I want to anchor in all of those for everybody listening here. So, what Leah's saying here is that there were a handful of things that I had you do when you were in the program. And the first thing that you named was unraveling, unwinding a lot. And this is why our work is really different than a lot of other coaching programs out there. We don't focus on the past, right? But there's some very, very particular things that we know you need to go unlock, right? In order to be able to then build on. You can't keep pushing them away. So you mentioned feelings and you mentioned unwinding some things. This is like weeding the garden of your mind. So we kind of went into your mind and we started weeding the weeds that weren't actually serving you, so that we could plant these new seeds so that you can feel the way that you feel now. So you mentioned that. So that's really important, everybody, for you listening. The second thing is learning to be present, right? So I hear this is like, that is what, that's what we talk about, patterns. That's one of the modules. That's really what she's talking about, unwinding the patterns, unwinding the pitfalls. One of the modules is presence, right? So talking about how to be present. So understanding for you, that was a really, really important thing of learning how to be present in the present moment, which leads to purpose. And yeah, we have whole modules on purpose around what does your purpose mean? And it's not some big pie in the sky thing you get to one day, but really teaching you how to live your purpose now. And I'm curious, Leah, for you, learning to look at purpose in the way that, we've taught you, how do you feel like that has changed? I mean, I could say everything, but particularly work.
I went from, one is I really enjoy my job more now, because at some point before this program, my job was all of it. I don't know how I got here, but my job was all of it my entire life since I started working. It's nuts, right? Yeah. And I have many other fulfilling areas of my life, but somehow job became king. And because job became king, like it made me not like my job. Because it was taking time and space from everything else. But really, the realization with purpose just shifted everything. Job is not the king. I like my job. If something happens and lose my job, I will be perfectly fine, and I know I will thrive. And it's okay if I don't do this job, because I know I can do a lot of other things. And I didn't believe that before this program.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, whatever happens to the job, I have such a support system, like family, friends, husband. I will be okay. So it wouldn't be a big deal. And I never thought like that ever
What did
until
you
after this program.
So what did you think before? That's awesome. That's such a shift. Like now there's a level of unattachment, a level of surrender. Let me repeat this one thing that you said that's really important, and then I'll go back to that question that I asked. It sounds like what you're saying is that before the program, your job was your whole life. Is that right?
Yes.
It was
Yes.
king. You kept saying king. It had spilled into everything. It was like one dimensional, like job was life. And then because of that, it was leading to a lot of burnout, exhaustion, wanting to walk away. It was just everything. Um, Now job is not king. Job is one aspect of your life because like you learn how to create a multidimensional life where job is only one part. And so now if you lose your job, it's like cool. Like you'll just like there's a level of an attachment. You'll just figure it out. So before when you thought about like walking away from the job, leaving the job, what would you feel?
The first feeling is worthless.
What?
If I don't have this job, I have no purpose, I'm worthless.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds so silly to me right now. I repeat it and I laugh and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so silly. But yes, it was this, and it wasn't just thinking it, but feeling it, like this very deep, empty hole in my chest that screamed worthless.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Leah, I think this is like a huge thing that you're admitting, right? Because like you are a very successful, like, and you're not just very successful and amazing and wonderful now, like you've always been, but you didn't feel on the inside what it sounds like you were projecting on the outside. I ask this question a lot. Would anyone have guessed that you were feeling that massive hole of worthlessness inside?
Absolutely no. And actually, I will, uh, if somebody comes across this video, even my colleagues, they will be shocked. They will be totally shocked.
Do you think you realized that's before the program? I know now you feel like you know that, but do you think did you know that's what you were feeling before the program?
No, I didn't. I really believe that there's something wrong with me and I'm just not doing the right things.
Got it. So
Yep.
the way that it sounded for you before the program, so it may be the way that somebody's listening or watching now would be thinking about it. It may not sound like I'm worthless. What would like the inner critic that we talk about, the inner critic in the course, right? What would the inner critic what was the inner critic saying to you before you joined?
You're not doing enough. There are others that are doing more than you. There are others that are more successful than you are.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to do more and you need to push harder. And if others can do it, you can do it.
Got it. So that's the way that you were on that hamster wheel of like you
Yes.
keep doing more, work harder. You haven't figured it out yet. Everybody else is better in a way, a lot of imposter syndrome.
Yes.
So I'd be curious for you to just speak to now how your confidence has shifted on the other side of this program, because it sounds like that's a lot of what's changed for you.
Yep. Um, Big shift, especially the way I present myself. The biggest, I always, maybe not the way I present myself, but the way I express myself. Um, I find myself more grounded. And I brought a few scenarios where there have been several conversations where, kind of in a very male oriented environment where it's kind of hard to be present as a female leader, where now I'm far more confident and I will speak when I have something important to say and I will be heard. And that was the biggest shift that happened.
Wow.
And it had to do with more about, again, being present, listening to what others are saying and interjecting to kind of help elevate the conversation. So, and that was probably one of the biggest shifts. And also feel comfortable, not if I don't have something to say, it's okay not to speak.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm curious to know, just for those who are listening, because that's a really big shift of like kind of feeling like an imposter and like maybe I don't belong at this job because I'm not good enough in my, whatever version of that was going on, to now being like, I've stepped into more feminine leadership. I listen. And then when it's time to speak, speak and I'm heard. Like that level, that's a tremendous amount of confidence, right? And trust in self. Do you remember um, what happened in the program for you? And I know it's like everything stacks on everything else, but was there a moment for you that started to click?
I
Whether it's
think
something I told you or whether it was a module you watched, like what do you think it was?
things kind of started clicking and around boundaries, where we basically learn about, like, if you're feeling something, there may be a boundary you're not setting. It could be the way you communicate with somebody or the way you want to be communicated to. And I didn't realize that you actually have this power. If you want to communicate in a certain way or be communicated to, you set that level of energy for that to happen.
Mm.
And I started applying that and started kind of feeling comfortable being silent, and even admitting, saying, I don't know this, I
Mm.
need a minute, and started practicing that. And that's where things started clicking.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. Yep. Boundaries is it's big. It's in the people module. It's in the power module. We talk a lot about what it means to really step into that power in your voice and communication. Leah, did you have a favorite part of this journey? Like like, would you say like for you personally, like your favorite, most mind-blowing part in retrospect? Was there a favorite part for you?
For me was the fact that I wasn't alone. There are these incredible women in the program that they're successful and so smart and such incredible aspirations that are going through the same struggle. So for me, it was so encouraging to come into a community, not just a program, right? Like I just learned something, but really a community of people that they're learning along with me, but we can share those insights. And it was very comforting for me, because I knew I wasn't alone, and I had a group of people who were kind of walking through this journey. And the program is incredible, but having that support and this community, and knowing that this is how we are as women, and we just need to figure out, or I should say, we need to utilize all the incredible tools we have and remember how to use them. And knowing that everybody else is on the same journey and kind of progressing together, I think that's what motivated me more and uplifted me more, knowing
Mhm.
that I'm progressing with those other incredible women. So
That's great. Do you feel like, in a way, being with the other women inspired you to keep going? That may, if, and maybe you wouldn't have um, kept going in a way if it was one on one, or like, you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like there was a collective energy that propelled you forward?
absolutely, because there were days that, especially in the beginning, it was so hard. Like I felt so resistant. Like my body was resisting, my mind was resisting, and I would just show up for a call, and I would hear people's questions, and I'm like, it's okay. Everybody's struggling along with me, and
Mm.
they're celebrating, and that motivated me to celebrate every bit of the way, even the tiniest thing. Like I remember when I started trying to meditate for like 2 minutes. I'm like, I'm meditating for 2 minutes. And then keep celebrating the small steps and
Mhm.
having all these other women encouraging me. I think that helped tremendously. So
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I love that that was your favorite part. There's a reason that we do this in a community of women, because um, women together, shift happens much more
yes.
quickly. So, another question for you about, let me just do it this way. So, if you were to describe yourself now in a few words, what would you say? Yourself, life.
I am I'm confident, I'm present, um, and really inspired about anything that can happen.
Mhm.
Anything. It could be the job, it could be my future dreams. Just really inspired. And if something happens along the way, the shift in the attitude of, oh, something terrible versus oh, something else to learn, or I need a different way to grow. So
I love that. So there's like a complete mindset strengthening. Like, you know that you can deal with anything, even if you're thrown off course. And the words are confident, sounds like, present, and inspired and excited about, everything, like all the possibilities, your current job, your role there, your future dreams, the ones you're moving towards that you developed in the program and beyond. And um, that is absolutely phenomenal. I want to share something with you right now, just because I think you're going to appreciate this. So, just going to read some words. I have permission to read some of your words from your initial breakthrough call about how you were feeling.
please, please.
So, LIA had a breakthrough call with our team. That was the beginning of her journey. And here's a few words: constantly pushing and pushing. I'm overwhelmed and anxious all the time. I beat myself up. I never feel good enough. I come home from work crying. This past month has been so bad. Anxiety is up and down. I feel sad. I'm constantly exhausted and fried. I think about work all the time. I'm not expressing myself fully. I come home tense. I have tightness in my chest. I feel depressed and guilty, defeated, doubting myself. I don't want to leave my amazing job, but I'm worried one day it'll be so intense that I'll lose all motivation. That is who you were. And the way you just described yourself was confident, present, happy. Before we got on this call, you said joyful, like you love your life now. And so I just want to celebrate you, LIA, because you showed up fully. You showed up, you were committed, right? Even if you felt a little bit of resistance, that's normal, right? But you were committed to this change. You were on every single call, right? You did everything we told you to do, right? You showed up, you did the work, and you got the outcome, right? And so, oh, congratulations. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. So if there is a takeaway, and just tell us and anybody watching, what do you feel like the biggest takeaway is that you want everybody listening to know or to understand? If you could just share what that feels like for you, what would you want to share?
Um, the biggest takeaway is really being present. I missed so many important things, and I'm not talking about making events with my son. I'm talking about just even just sitting with him on the couch and cuddling, watching TV. I was not enjoying holding him because I was not there. And life is what I'm realizing, at least for my life, it feels so much fulfilling when I'm present in everything I do. The one-to-ones I have with an employee, being present because I'm able to like serve him better or learn something from him, enjoying my time with my son, loving my romance with my husband, enjoying this wonderful tree outside of my window right now. And those small, they may seem such small things, but those are the things that kind of ground you and really enjoy life, because we kind of get caught on the business. It's such a materialistic, busy world. And I grew up in a small town in Greece. So being in the US, I felt this pressure of business and successes the more you have. And I lost track of these moments. So biggest takeaway is like being present in these moments, and everything else kind of folds in that. So
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think that everyone right now can understand what you're talking about, that life is made up of these small little moments that, yes, are small: sitting on your couch, holding your son, not having your mind be in 100 different places, looking outside and being able to see the beauty of the tree, right? Rather than missing it. You just posted in our alumni group recently of like this incredible lake, right? That was just down the road from where you live. And you're like, I've lived here for years and I've missed this. I've missed this, and I'm seeing all these things for the first time. Because you're present, because you've learned how to be present. And I think all of us right now, with what's going on in the world, can't ignore how busy we've been and how distracted we've been, right? And we're being asked to stop missing life, the life that's right in front of our eyes. So thank you so much for that. And I really just want to pull this out for everybody watching and listening. If you feel like there's a part of you that is just missing out on your life because work has become everything, because you're thinking about it, because you're there all the time, maybe not there physically anymore all the time, but you're thinking about it all the time and it's spilling into everything and you're missing the moments in your life, whether that's with your children or with a partner or a family, or maybe you've worked so much that you're actually missing out on the opportunity to even have those things. You can't actually take in life. Then you have to book a call with our team. This is where LIA's journey started 8 months ago, right? This is where everyone's journey starts. We don't know if we can help you until we can talk to you. But if we can help you, we're going to tell you how we can do that. We'll tell you about our system. We'll tell you about how you can get results like LIA, right? And that's what we do. The calls are free. They're 45 to 60 minutes. You're going to talk to me or somebody on our team. If we can help you, we'll tell you how we can do that. And if not, we'll point you in a different direction. So here's the link here. And then LIA, I'm going to ask you to take us home. The link is juliasantiago.com/talk. We've got some availabilities over these next few days. So book a call. LIA, for a woman like you who may be used to figuring all the things out on herself on her own, and she's used to thinking, I should be able to figure this out, I'm definitely not going to go talk to a stranger. What do you want her to know in this moment?
You cannot figure out everything by yourself. And there are many other women like me that were there, and it's time to open up and try something different. Like I tried doing everything by myself and it didn't work. And I'm so glad I tried this different thing, because I found a community of women. I found a lot of knowledge and experience. And not only that, I found compassion and empathy and deep understanding. I felt every week it was like opening layers and layers. And I was held and guided through, even when I felt so discouraged and hurt and scared. So you can't do it all alone. Okay. Don't do it alone.
So if you're ready to stop trying to do it alone, just book a call with our team. We're here to support you. Even if it's just on this breakthrough call, we'll support you then. And if you're a good fit, we'll tell you how we can keep supporting you and beyond. LIA, thank you for sharing your wisdom. I celebrate your journey in every way and the gift that you've given to your husband and your son and your step kiddos and to all of your team members and employees, because you did this work for yourself. So thank you for being the light in the world that you are.
Thank you, Julie, and the wonderful coaches in the program. I learned a lot, and the other wonderful women who participated and were with me and are still with me through our continuation of learning and growing together. Thank you so much.
Love you, sweetheart. Talk to you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.